Hello, brothers. Today, we're going to discuss something that I'm going to drop a portion of the video on Patreon, and I might drop a segment of this. I'm going to break this up into different parts because there's a lot of information. Shouts out to MOT. We were hanging out, discussing on a live different elements, and he decided to break down something I didn't know. And I'd like to thank him for this, and it's on BAWs and minority contract, and specifically fraud. Alright, let me pull up my notes and let's get into it in a second. Okay, so we're going into it. Margie Solinger knew something wasn't right about the companies doing business with Portland, Oregon, and the city's ombudsman. Solinger had for some time been hearing about business owners about fraud in the city's minority and women-owned contracting program, but it wasn't until she received a specific complaint in 2013 about certified minority-owned construction firm doing work for Portland's housing authority when she decided to take action. According to the complaint, the firm was merely acting as a pass-through, winning valuable city contracts, then subcontracting the work out to non-minority companies. Okay. So this is from the website, which I'll be dropping the link below. Okay, and on to the next article from the Justice Department, and this is from the Department of Justice, U.S. Attorney's Office, District of Mass. Okay, Boston, a Uxbridge man and Maryland woman were charged with conspiring to defraud the government out of thousands of dollars from 14 to 18. Thomas Bouchard of Uxbridge, Mass. was arrested with Chantel Boyd, Woodsboro, Maryland. And they were arrested on Monday, 2020, July 6. 1 count of conspiracy and 10 counts of theft of government funds. Boyd was also charged with false declarations before the grand jury. And this deals with defendants that took numerous government-funded trips together, including 31 trips to Orlando, aka hashtag swirling. So they defrauded the contracting office from the U.S. Army NATIC contracting division. So this is like a Department of Defense fraud case, and I'll leave the link below that. Okay. And move on to the next article. And this next article is from CBS News. And woman defrauds Defense Department out of $20 million. The owner of a defunct company accused of bilking the Defense Department out of more than $20 million, including charging nearly $1 million to ship 2 19-cent washers, pleaded guilty Thursday to federal wire fraud and money laundering. Charlene Corley owned public access to plumbing and hardware equipment supply company CD Distributors LLC with her sisters Darlene Wooten, committed suicide, rest in power. Corley faces up to 20 years in prison. In addition, she owes $750,000 in fines, said U.S. Assistant U.S. Attorney Kevin McDonald. The company has repaid the government $4 million, but you know, that's $20 million. And the government has seized an additional $7 million in cash. And this is from 1997 to 06. Corley and Wooten exploded the automated shipping payment system designed to speed shipments from U.S. forces overseas by submitting huge bills to ship inexpensive items, prosecutors said. So, fraudulent charges were ones for $998,798 to ship 19-cent lock washers and $492,097 to ship $11 of threaded plug and $499,569 to ship 10 cotter pins worth $199 each. So, the Pentagon was found paying $400 for a hammer. Are you serious? So this is Wilson Willer, the Center of Defense Information, says the case demonstrates just how big a mess the Pentagon's auditing system still is. So I'll leave that And I'll go into the next article in a second. Hold on. Okay. And this is from Black Enterprise. And I'm not going to go through the whole article. I'm just going to go over the top part, and I'll leave the link below. It says every year the government issues $500 billion in federal contracts, and of that, $23 billion is allocated to small and disadvantaged businesses, aka minorities. And while that may seem to be a lot of money and opportunity, it's up for grabs. Okay, only a percentage of most of the money actually goes to where it needs to go, and that's from that article. And it breaks down a little bit of the Minority Business Development Agency, MBDA. I'll leave that below, but here's something that you need to think about. 500 billion and 23 billion is allocated to small and disadvantaged business and minority based contracts, and we just previewed a few things of egregious minority-based thefts that have been going on by the BAW. And then we have 2 more articles that I'll be dropping. Give me a second and I'll come right back to that. Okay, but this is a lot. This is 23 billion that is not being properly allocated. It's being basically stolen, which could actually help in many ways to progress specific businesses, opportunities, industries, capital. And there's one thing that keeps on hitting me, and that's construction. Not many women do construction. Why do they keep on getting these construction contracts? Inquiring minds would like to know. I'll be going to the next article in a second. Hold on, guys. So this is a joint article from the Department of Justice and also from Black Enterprise. I have both links up and I'm looking at them side by side, so I'll be switching from one to the next. So Tennessee State Senator Katrina Robinson is being accused, she's 39, of stealing $600,000 in grants from healthcare. So she had founded a healthcare company that has been federally charged with theft and embezzling involving government programs and wire fraud. U.S. Attorney Michael Dunavarnt, I'm sorry for butchering your name, bro, announced charges this past Wednesday, according to the press release. Robinson alleged to use funds for a vehicle for her daughter, clothing, accessories, and hair and beauty products. Expenses related to her wedding and honeymoon, and later, well, at least she got married. Oh, god damn it. She got divorced, and later legal fees for a divorce. Oh, I'm sorry. I see I had optimism there, and just taken away. Okay, payments for personal debts, student loans, credit cards, store charge cards, and how did I know it was student loans? I didn't even get to that point. And entertainment for herself and family, improvements to her personal residence. Well, at least she fixed her house up. Expenses related to body aesthetics. Okay. You know what? I'm not going to read this whole article. I'll leave it below. Okay. It'll be for your viewing, and I'll come back on the flip side with another article. Okay. Here is the last article. I'm not going to go too much into it because I have another video where I'll be actually discussing this topic in depth with charts, graphs, breakdowns, and statistics. And what is this article? It is from Citigroup. Citi GPS report estimates, Citigroup is the financial department. They also have banking and monotony, different things. You can go to the stock market and you can see Citi stock. Okay, so if you're interested in Citi stock, you can go and look up what their price is, and I'll go look at that in a second. So Citi GPS report estimates, and this is from Minority Daily, 16 trillion in lost GDP due to racial inequality in U.S. So Citi released a new report that estimates the economic losses attributed to racial inequality in U.S. for over 2 decades, the last 2 decades. Citi Global Perspective and Solutions GPS report, closing the racial inequality gap, the economic cost of black inequality in U.S. So it says about 16 trillion. The loss includes gaps in wages, access to housing, higher education, and investments, black-owned businesses. And the report also provides recommendations that public and private sectors can help to close the gap. And They go into detail with this, and they do discuss aspects of different things that we're currently discussing in this video. And they discuss fair and equitable lending to black entrepreneurs could have created an additional 13 trillion in business revenue. They also discuss it could have created 6.1 million jobs that might have been created per year. Capital, equipment, labor, technology, and things of that nature, including grants, and also government contracts. But unfortunately, if these government contracts are going to fall into the hands of BAW, and those monies are actually siphoned and they're taking their percentage and embezzling these funds, it's not going to go anywhere. And I'm not going to go too much into it in this video, but we're actually going to do a breakdown of all the contracts for construction that are actually given to BAWs and not the so-called black men that have expertise and skill within these fields, and it's simply siphoned and given right back to whom issued it. So not going too much into that right now, but this is just a little brief, and you can check out the Patreon video which is posted today on the conversation that I had. Go subscribe to MOT's channel. I'll leave the link below for his channel, and go subscribe to the Black Brain Trust and others. I'll leave their links. Go check them out. I'm out.